Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to explore a really powerful and, frankly, necessary new framework for teaching Tamil to our heritage learners. It's all about making a big shift from just knowing about the language to actually being able to use it in their everyday lives. You know, this quote right here, it probably hits home for a lot of us. We all start with this incredible passion, this drive to pass on our beautiful language. But then you hit that wall, right? You start wondering, how do I build a curriculum from scratch? Am I even teaching this the right way? It's a struggle that I think every single volunteer, parent teacher knows deep down. So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by unpacking the unique challenges our students face. Then, we'll take a quick look at the old way of doing things, and from there, we'll journey into a brand new vision for learning, one that's backed by practical tools and a really inspiring mission for all of us. Okay, let's dive right in, because before we can teach effectively, we absolutely have to get a handle on who our students are. We need to understand the world they're learning in. This table, wow, it really paints the picture, doesn't it? On one side, you've got a child growing up in a totally immersive Tamil environment. They hear it from birth, all day, every day. On the other side, you have our heritage learners. Their exposure might be limited to simple sentences and phrases they hear from their parents at home. And that isn't a small difference, folks. That's a huge gap in their foundational skills. And this, right here, is our starting point. And because we were faced with that reality, it's no surprise that we often just fell back on the teaching methods we grew up with ourselves. Let's take a look at what that actually meant. The traditional way was, well, it was very academic, wasn't it? We taught students about the Tamil language. It was all about drilling grammar, memorizing verb conjugations, and making endless lists of vocabulary. The language was treated like a subject you study inside a classroom, not a living, breathing tool you use out in the real world. But you know what? To really connect with our students today and give them what they need, that's just not enough. We need a fundamental shift, a whole new paradigm for how we even think about language education. And this slide says it all. This is the single most important shift we can possibly make as educators. We are moving away from teaching students about Tamil, and we're moving toward teaching them how to use Tamil. You know, it's the difference between memorizing a recipe and actually being able to cook a delicious meal. We want our students to be the chefs. So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, we're ditching the old idea of just slogging through a textbook from cover to cover. Instead, we're using real-world materials and thematic units. And we're using a really cool concept called backward design. All that means is we start with the end goal. We ask ourselves, what do I want my students to be able to do with Tamil by the end of this? And then every single activity we plan is designed to get them there. Okay, so if we're going on this new journey, we need a new compass, right? And that's exactly what this is. Let's talk about our new guide for planning and teaching, the 3 modes of communication. I love this framework because it is so practical and easy to grasp. It breaks down all communication into 3 main categories. First up is interpersonal. Think of this as a two-way street, spontaneous back and forth chatting with someone. Then you've got interpretive. This is a one-way street coming in. You're taking in information, like when you're watching a YouTube video or reading a recipe. And finally, there's presentational. This is a one-way street going out. You are creating something for an audience, like recording a vlog or writing an email. Now, if we have a new compass to guide our teaching, it only makes sense that we need a new way to measure the progress our students are making along the way. So we're shifting our focus away from grades and test scores and on to proficiency levels. And this is a total game changer. We're not asking, what did you memorize anymore? We're asking, what can you do with the language? Can you use some words and phrases? Great, you're at the novice level. Can you start putting those together into your own simple sentences? Awesome, you're moving into intermediate. It's all about what they can actively do. And this slide shows us why our work is so incredibly important. A typical second language learner might spend over a decade trying to reach an intermediate high level. But our heritage learners, they have a superpower. That little bit of exposure they get at home gives them a huge head start. With the right kind of teaching, they can reach an advanced low level in the same amount of time. That potential is just waiting for us to unlock it. This completely flips the old idea of assessment on its head. In the past, a test was often about finding what a student didn't know. Today, assessment is a celebration of what they can do. And you know the best part? The students are in on it. They know exactly what the goals are. Assessment isn't something that's done to them, it's a way for them to show off what they've learned. So, following this new path isn't just about using better teaching tricks. It actually leads us to a much bigger, more powerful destination for our entire community. So, why does all this matter? Well, by adopting these modern, standards based methods, we're building a real, legitimate educational pathway. It means a student in California is working toward the same goals as a student in Texas. And that consistency is what lets us establish clear outcomes and, importantly, allows our students to earn real world credentials like the Seal of Biliteracy, which can even translate into college credits. But let's take a step back. At the end of the day, is this whole journey just about skills or getting college credits? No, there's a much deeper purpose at play here. Because this is our ultimate mission. Our final goal isn't just to create a generation of Tamil speakers. It's to inspire and empower the next generation of Tamil teachers. By guiding our students to these high levels of proficiency, we're giving them the tools to carry the torch. We are creating the future guardians who will ensure our language and our culture don't just survive, they thrive for generations to come.